Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Devar Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, the 10th day of September. Here we go. Today's halacha is about when a lady wants to have someone blow the shofar for her for the day of Rosh HaShana. A lady who goes to shul obviously has not a whole lot of trouble with this. She just goes to shul, hears the shofar like everybody else, answers amen to the brachas in shul, and that's fine and dandy and good, and that's just the way to do it. But sometimes a lady has to be home for Rosh Hashanah for whatever reason, taking care of the kids or 100 other reasons. And if a lady has to be at home, she still wants to have the mitzvah of shofar done for her. Now, ladies officially are exempt from the mitzvah of shofar because it's a time-bound positive command, and any time-bound positive command ladies are exempt from. Like, for example, sitting in the sukkah. Ladies don't have to sit in the sukkah. But a lot of ladies want to do the mitzvah and still get a mitzvah when they do that. So a lady wants to be in a sukkah and doesn't have to be. And a lady wants to hear the shofar, although she doesn't have to hear the shofar. Therefore, if there's a lady who's home who wants to hear the shofar, a man can come to her house and blow the shofar for her. But we will, of course, run into the question of what to do about the bracha. So this is the halacha. A lady is allowed to make the bracha for herself because there is still a mitzvah being done if she hears the shofar. She doesn't have to do it, but if she does hear it, she is accomplishing a mitzvah. So the lady can make the bracha for herself. Now, if it ever happens that a man comes to a house of a lady and blows the shofar for her, he has that option in front of him. He can say, okay, make the bracha, and after you make the bracha, I'm going to blow the shofar for you. That's an option. Or, what the man can do, well, let me tell you what he can't do. What the man can't do is if he heard the shofar in shul and fulfilled the mitzvah already, then he can't make the bracha again for the lady, and I'll tell you why. Because usually I can make kiddush for a lady, and that's fine because I'm doing something that I'm allowed to be doing at that moment, making a bracha for my kiddush, and a lady could fulfill the mitzvah by hearing it. But if the man already fulfilled that mitzvah in shul, then he's done. He fulfilled the mitzvah, and the lady doesn't have a mitzvah, and so it wouldn't be appropriate for the man to be making the bracha for the lady. If the man wants to make the bracha for the lady, then he has this next option. Hope this isn't sounding too complicated. The next option is that what the man could do is plan to not fulfill the mitzvah when he hears it in shul. And then he could say, I'm not just fulfilling the mitzvah right now. There's a lot of shofar sounds around me, but I'm not fulfilling the mitzvah by hearing it. And then I'm going to go over to that lady's house, and I want to make the bracha for her, so I'll fulfill the mitzvah then. Then, when he blows the shofar for the lady, and he makes the bracha before he blows the shofar, and he fulfills the mitzvah while blowing the shofar, which of course you're allowed to do, and then it's all fine and wonderful, because he's fulfilling the mitzvah and making the bracha for himself and for the lady, just like what the man's doing in shul when he blows the shofar for everybody in the shul, including the lady section. So in summary, there are three options if a lady wants to hear the shofar at home. One option is, two options at home. One is that she makes the bracha herself, and then the man blows the shofar for her. Or option number two at home for the lady is that the shofar blower does not fulfill the mitzvah at shul, fulfills the mitzvah plans to fulfill the mitzvah when he blows the shofar for the lady at home, and therefore he makes the bracha for himself and the lady when he blows the shofar for the lady at home. The third option, which just isn't at home, is that when a lady goes to shul, then that same thing is happening at the shul. The person who's blowing the shofar at shul is making the brachas for himself and for everybody and the Ezras Nashim, the ladies section, and so he makes the mitzvah, fulfills the mitzvah, and makes the bracha for himself and everybody that way at shul. Hope I didn't make that more complicated than it is, but at least I taught you about the topic, and if you want to know more details about this, by all means, speak to your rabbi about how it should be arranged for you. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.